Check 1, 2. Awesome. There's my sound. There's my sound. There's my sound. Is my sound working on the video? Let's see here. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. There we go. Okay. Welcome everybody to my live stream. And we'll give it just a minute here to kind of perhaps gather some viewers, although I doubt it will. But as the title suggests, welcome anybody who's catching this video probably at a later date. As the title suggests scale symmetries inspired from 12 Tones channel video called How Facebook Solved a Musical Mystery. I'm going to change the title here. It's 12 Tones channel, so I'm just going to go 12 Tones channel and remove the word video. So, inspired from 12 Tones channel called How Facebook Solved a Musical Mystery. Thank 12 Tone. Go watch that channel. It's a channel that totally inspires me to do this. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going to go live today. I was just going to be lazy and sit here and watch YouTube videos while all you guys wonder where the hell is Mind's Eye Visual Guitar Methods videos. You know, while all my favorite channels put out videos every couple months. I'm going to try to turn down my vocal mic here because I see some feedback happening. Not feedback, but my P's are they're distorting, so I wanted to fix that. 12 Tones channel is a great channel. It inspires me, and it inspired me today to get off my ass and make this video. So thank him and go like his channel and subscribe to his Patreon and consider subscribing to mine. And just remember to hit like if you like this video, because I need feedback. I need to know if people like my videos. I love doing this, but and I do get your messages, especially there were two messages, very critical messages for me. I was a little, I think I sounded a little depressed about 2 videos ago, and 2 people piped in that my videos really helped, and they really enjoyed it and loved my my videos. So I really, really, really appreciated that. I kept on thinking of those comments all week when I felt thoughts of just trashing the channel or not carrying on or whatever. So anyways, no depressing stuff today. Feeling good, feeling great, especially watching Ralph Smart's videos, who incidentally was on my mind a second ago when I said people that put out videos every day. This guy Ralph Smart, he's putting out videos like every like twice a day, and I can't believe it. It's so great. I wish I could do that twice a day, but I gotta work every day, and my job is so stressful because my boss doesn't understand anything about me being a musician, and it's construction, and we're talking like it's about me forgetting to or trusting moments where I don't think I need to wear my ear protection. Next thing you know, hammers are cracking onto objects right next to my head, and totally having me wake up with tinnitus. And who the hell wants tinnitus? If I'm going to get tinnitus, which I've had before, I want it to be at a Rush concert or something like that, which we're never going to be able to see again. How sad is that? So anyways, lots of rambling here. Yeah, so I was going to make some more comments on Ralphie Smart's videos, but the really just very uplifting stuff, which is very helpful. Not sometimes I have a hard time going into some of that his depth, because there's some things that I are not extremely tangible or not very scientifically oriented, which I have a strong skepticism when things are outside of scientific reasoning, but he makes a lot of sense at the same time, and really helps out. So that's that. But 12 Tone, let's get back to 12 Tone, because he's the reason actually that we're here today and what this video is about. Great channel. As you see, he does something similar to me, where all you see is the what he does on his paper and his explanations of music theory, just out of this world great. Such great stuff, and really, really tangible too. So that's what I like, as opposed to other channels which are great too. Like Rick Beato's channel, um, but those guys are so into. They have grasp. They have such a deep grasp. Like him and say Adam Neely and stuff has such a deep grasp of music theory that for me it flies right over my head a lot of times. I gotta just slow those videos down and rewatch them and try to grasp everything they're saying. And with 12 tone, I can really, really follow what he's talking about most every time. So, anyways, symmetries, scale symmetries. Let's get to the point here. The what his video was called, how Facebook solved a musical mystery, and the musical mystery was that about what somebody had pointed out on a Facebook channel, that one note is found in every 7-note scale. If you take any 7-note scale, like this one in the example here, C, D, the key of C, and every take a major scale, make it off this note, take a major scale off that note, major scale off the F, make a major scale from G, make a major scale from A, make a major scale from B. They'll all share one note, and that is the E note. And what they found is you can do that starting with any note. It's because the third is shared by every scale. It's kind of neat. It's called the term that's been coined for it is a ridge tone. And a couple things I found intriguing about this and how it was presented in a video. It's cool. It's music theory. How it might have any musical implications is like up to you guys, up to composers to figure out and try. And not really the scope of the video, just kind of showing you what it was and how it worked. And so that's kind of the same thing with what I've discovered here today, another musical symmetry that I haven't found the implications for, the musical implications for, meaning like, how am I going to turn this into something like you can use to build a song? And haven't discovered that yet. However, it is pretty interesting, and it's a symmetry. And what really got me to think, oh my God, I just got to go on and tell people what I found. Because this has been brewing in my head for a couple days, and I've been like, well, do I show people? There's no musical implication. Maybe I should wait and find some music, and that's never going to happen because I'm not so sure what to do with it. But what really sparked my interest was that he watch his video, and you'll see that he talks about somebody else. I forget the name. It's Ian Ring, I think. Showed an easy way to see what was going on by building a circle and showing the patterns made a symmetry that you could see in a circle. And I thought, wow, that really rings a bell, because what I'm talking about here today is also in a circle. And I've got a couple other symmetrical findings that I'm kind of withholding because I don't know if I'm going to put them on a Patreon or bind a Patreon wall. So something that force you guys to pay me for, right? Which is basically, I could say it in pretty words, but that's really what it's all about. So that's later on. But here's some of that stuff today. Here's part of what here's a circular idea, but I'm not going to show you the circular symmetry of this. You might be able to figure it out for yourself. But this stems from this concept, which I'm going to go over first. And since I'm not going to show you how it works in a circle or how it all goes together, it may be a little hard to understand here, but try to follow along. There are 12 notes total, right? Okay. Now, let me start with this statement. Say, for example, I have the C major scale. I can take any other major scale, not a melodic minor system, not a harmonic minor system, but any major scale system, any do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, built from any other note, And no matter which note I choose, I cannot find, it would be impossible for me to find an alien scale. You might think like, well, start on C sharp. Look at all those spaces here, but even C sharp will share a minimum of 2 notes with the major scale. Starting from the tritone, we'll share 2 notes with the major scale. And let me show you a little bit more of this. So here's how it all works. So that means that you can pick, aside from, like, let's say we use our basic example as the key of C. So we already have C established, so C is our root note. That's a 1 out of the question. We have 11 more tones to choose from, to build a major scale from. So 2 of those choices will share 6 notes. Well, actually, let me start with this first. Obviously, the root is going to share the same exact notes. C is going to be C, D, E, F, G, A, B. It's the root note. It's the same exact scale. There are going to be scales that share 6 notes, 5 notes, 4 notes, 3 notes, and 2 notes. And that's all there is. There's no scale that only shares 1 note, and there's no scale that shares 0 notes. And if there's a scale that shares all 7 notes, well, it's the same exact scale, hence this R here for the root. So let's see how that mathematically equates to 12 notes. 6 notes. Oh, and before I even get to that, this is like, consider this musical distance. If I change, this is changing keys as well. If I change keys to a scale that shares 6 notes, then it sounds very closely related. There's only 1 note difference. So close, in fact, that sometimes it can even be hard to tell you've changed keys. And this secret is where you can get a lot of borrowed chords from, because the scales sound so close to each other. So, for example, a G major scale, the only difference in a G major scale is the F sharp. So that and another scale will share 6 notes. There are 2 scales that will share 6 notes. There's 2 scales that will share 5 notes, 2 scales that will share 4 notes, 2 that will share 3 notes, and 3 that will share 2 notes. So interestingly enough, the most distant scales are have the most amounts. There's 3 of them, and then everything else, there's 2 of them. And the neat thing is, from your root, if you stretch out going forward and going backward, they are the same. So in other words, if I go up, say, flat second, second, flat third, third, fourth, fifth, there's a pattern. It's not exactly all laid out. That's, why no one's, this doesn't jump out at people, because there's a weird pattern involved. But here's the neat thing. If I go this way or this way from the root, the pattern is the same. So, for example, if I go up 1, 2, 3 tones to the flat third, which would be E flat, or down 1, 2, 3, so that would be 1, 2, 3 to the A, they will both share the same amount of notes. And that's what we're going to use today. So that creates, so in essence, if you wrote all that out in a circle, you'd see a symmetrical pattern of modulation. And it's kind of neat once you get that down pat. Why don't I just show you guys? I don't know. I think I'm going to skip it for now. It's because it's not really what I want to show you today. But what I do want to show you, a little disclaimer. I just got instantly inspired to go online here and make this video. So there's no planning here. I haven't done... I'm not even sure I totally exactly remember what I wrote down the other day, and I was at work scribbling notes and going crazy because I was bored and needed something to think about, and I was finding all this came to my mind, and I checked it out, and I was like, wow, here's a cool symmetry. And it had to do, recently I did a video on chord tones, and I was trying to find out, are there any similarities between these scales that share notes? And I found this weird, awesome correlation. It's totally cool, and I'm going to show you. But like I said, how I'm going to make sense of it for you guys is a little bit. But this is what I wrote. So I wrote something like this down the other day. So let's see how it goes here. So let's start with our basic, easy to understand C major scale. So we got C, D, E, F, G, A, B. What we want to know is, and we're going to use the scale that shares 4 notes. So that would be right here, this box right here. This one shares 4 notes. And I'll check on if I'm live, if you guys, scream and holler and shout at me, maybe I'll reveal like the little pattern that makes. But anyways, we don't need that. So what I think I'm going to do here, that's an E flat or a D sharp. I usually denote the black keys with a C, D, D, E. The top is the sharp, the bottom's the flat. Bottom flat, kind of, tire goes flat on bottom, I guess. So F, G, G, A, B, right? Today we're going to be dealing with what we'll call the E flat or the D sharp. And I think you referred to that if you're making a major scale out of it, that's got to be an E flat scale, because E flat, F, you don't want to double up the D note, D sharp, right? That wouldn't make any sense. So it's an E flat scale. So we're going to use the E flat. We'll write, let's write E flat right here. And let's go down what we said before. If we go down to the B, A sharp, B flat, A. So let's write an A right here. Now, what we want to find out here is, what we want to know is, which of those 4 tones are the correlating tones? And it exposes some symmetry here. Now, I'm sort of brain farting because, like I said, I didn't have an absolute lesson plan. It's written on a piece of paper, but it'd take me a good 10 minutes to go run and find it, so we're going to have to deal with this today, me sitting here mumbling. So starting on this note, let's say we got how did we do this? Okay, E flat. So we got what we're going to do here is we're going to go, this is what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to write down, I'm going to put a dot here. We're going to make the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, just like C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then we're going to see where it corresponds, which notes are shared between E flat and C. Let's see. And then we're going to write it down here. We're going to write a little note here that says, E flat and C. So, with E flat, we have our 1 is here. However, it's not a shared tone with the C major scale, so we're only going to put a dot there. Here we have the F, and that is the 2, so we're going to put a 2 there. Now we have, this would be our next tone, do, re, mi, because we skip a tone, whole step, right? Whole step, half step. So we have a G, and that is the 3. Our 4 is a dot. Our 5 is a dot. Our 6 is a chord tone, and that is going to be the actually what we're going to do is this. I'm going to change something here. I think this might make sense. 2, and then we're going to write, it's the 2 of the E flat scale. So let's write E flat here, since we're going to need that box. And then we're going to probably need the C for A, so we're going to put this over here. Sorry for the hard P's and C's coming out of my microphone here. It's a very cheap microphone. It's all I've got. And we're going to readjust it. Maybe that'll cure the hard P's. P. All right, okay. So, my friends, we've got the C here. So this is the 2 of our E flat scale, and it is the 4 of our C scale. And so this is going to be the 3, and it's also going to be the 5 of our original scale. And then we've got the, so we're going to skip the, so we got 1, 2, 3, that's on the C, so that's going to be the 1 of our C major scale, but it's going to be the, okay, wait a minute, so we got the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, this is the 6, 6 over 1, and then the 7 is on a chord tone, so we're going to put that, it's the 7 over 2. It's the 7 of our E scale and the 2 of our C scale. So what we've got here, let's write them out here a little more clearly. We've got a basically 2, 3, 6, 7. So we've got a E and C share notes like this. They share the, basically they share the, here we're going to write them out here. They're, I'm going to try to think like which way should I do it first? Okay, so we're just going to do this. C, D, F, G. C, D, F, G. But I'm going to put those in parentheses because I might not write them down exactly how they occur. What I'm going to do here is go like this. From considering the E flat scale, we've got 2, 3, 6, 7. So 2, 3, 6, 7. And then from C, we've got 1, 2, 4, 5. Now, actually, that's kind of the gist of it. Now you're going to see if we go backwards, we've got the same thing from C to A. I thought that was kind of neat. But we're going to write this down a little differently here. Yeah, so this makes sense. So if we did considered from C, D, F, G, we've got basically C is the 1, 2, 4, 5, and E flat is the, it would go 6, 7, 2, 3. So kind of neat. The 2 is shared between, both of them share a 2. It's a different note for each scale, but they both share a 2, and that's the only common tone, or maybe like you can consider like the 2's Dorian modal sound. 2 minor chord, but it's a D. One was a D and one is an F. But of course you can see how closely related the D tone is to the F that's in the chord D, F, A, right? So lots of little relations happening there that could have musical implications. But let's see how this exactly shows up exactly if we go C to A. And I'll give you another note here. It's kind of like you can think about this as like, well, a 6 is minor and a 1 is major. So we can think minor over major. So like the C in E flat would be a minor chord, where the C is a major chord in C. Here it's a diminished over minor, and then it's minor over major. And oh my god, 7 is yeah. Okay. And then I was getting confused because 7 is your 7th tone, your leading tone, the B in the C major scale. However, I get that confused with the 5 because 5 is called the dominant 7th. So we're going to write dominant 7th here over the 3rd Phrygian minor. So kind of interesting flip-flop there. Minor to major, diminished in minor, minor in major, and then minor in dominant seventh, which is, so it's kind of like they all flip-flop there. So maybe some implications there when you're making music and you change one major chord into a minor chord. Although I was just recently, it was my last video on Genesis, robbery, assault, and battery changes a C major to a C minor, and that's actually happening as well in a scale where they choose to share 5 notes. So they've basically gone from, say, the key of C to another, up a whole step. They're basically, when you move your key a whole step this way or a whole step that way, they share 5 notes. Yeah. So let's try A. Starting with A, we have the 1. There's the do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Now let's line up the ones that are correlating. The 4, we should find 4 notes that correlate, and here they are. It's the A. Now from A, we've got the A, the B, put a line there, and then we've got, skip the C, we've got the D and the E. What do you know? Those are the only notes that share. A, B, what did we say? D and E. A, B, D, E. If you take a look, the only shared note is the 2 again, the D. And everything else is different. We don't share an A here, we don't share a B there, and we don't share an E there. And do we have all the tones? Let's see. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Totally neat, huh? Symmetries. How does this make any music? Well, that's up to you. But I've got some. Let's check see if any of you guys are saying hello. So let's check my Facebook page here. And oh my gosh, Ralph Smart is out. Hey, I'm gonna read your comments here. Thanks for all your comments. So Eric Esquivel, hey man, how you doing? You're awesome. Oh, Dr. Bergman for information on how you can cure your tinnitus. He saved my best friend's life. Hey, that's pretty cool, man. Awesome. Thanks, man. Is it healthy eating? Because I like plant-based diet. Is he one of them? I recognize his name from I think from my plant-based diet videos, which I'm big into eating well. 7-day vegan challenge. Breathing in that good ass prana, baby, right? 7-day, more like almost 7 years now. I haven't been vegan that long, but I've been haven't eaten meat in many months, probably like 7 months. But I have had like little bits, like a break, like I wouldn't say a breakdown, but just things where like I'm flexible and I'm chill and I want to be a social person, and being hard and fast vegan when you go out was something you can do, but at certain times you if once in a while you have some meat. It's not the greatest thing because I don't want to support that industry at all ever. However, you come across these times. My mom is my Italian chef and luckily lives 1,000 miles away in Florida, but makes the best meatballs. So am I going to have meat once in a while? Unfortunately, probably yes, but as sparingly as possible is my version of vegan. And that's usually like months at a time. So at that point, it shouldn't have too detrimental of effect. So anyways, Eric says, I like your videos. Hey, thanks, dude. Keep your head up. Still quite a bit for me to dig into, but definitely has parallels to ways I look at music as well. Pretty cool. And Ralph Smart is onto something. He's just been popping up on my feed randomly. Synchronicity. Hey, that's cool. Hey, you want to hear something cool? I got to write to Ralph. I actually, if you look at one of his last like 3 videos, I got a comment right up there at the top that I left. But there was something else. Aside from my video, I'll tell you something real quick. I I teach a 5-hour pre-licensing class, and I like to make sense of it all. I got a ton of information to like dispense to these people for 5 hours every Saturday. And one thing I've done is I found a huge correlation with I get to tell my class there's a magic number in class. When I say ask you an answer, there's gonna be this answer. And you know what that magic number is? 3. Just like he's always talking about. It's so neat. I can tell you everything. I can break everything down into 1, 2, 3s. I can show you how nearly like everything we're talking about is based on 330 or 300. It's crazy. But anyways, thank you for the advice on Dr. Bergman. So, hey, before the Patreon paywall, I would suggest looking into a way to animate the different concepts you explain so that they'd be easy to follow visually. I think you'd get more follows that way. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. You know what I really got to do? I got to edit these videos, and that's the hard thing. Rick Beato was talking about that the other day. He made a great point I gotta listen to, and that is, like me, I face that dread when you want to start editing these videos because they can be like they just take hours to do, and you're like, and all the clicking and research you have to do and editing, and then you lose things. It's crazy. But once you get into them for like a minute or 10 minutes, then it starts flowing and you're like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? So he's right, you're right. I got to get into making more edited videos, which end up being more concise and professional looking and all that stuff. And then start the Patreon once you get a bigger audience. Yeah, and you know what else? I also thought about starting like a second channel, like making this like my live video channel, because I do love going live too. And then having a second channel for my a course. But then I thought, why don't I put the course on Patreon, like a core of videos that will help you understand everything I talk about on my live videos. So that's like an idea I have as well. So thank you, Eric, for all that. If you're still watching, I really appreciate all that. As I see from my feed, there's a when I look at my screen, I can see that my live stream is about like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Hold on a second here. Sorry, on-street parking, and I get finicky around people that make it so they're on the wrong side of the street across from my car, and all the cars got to drive real close by. Sorry, I'm a car guy. So the now I totally forgot what I was saying because of that. Sorry. Anyways, the stream here is like 5 seconds behind mine, so you're not even hearing that I'm saying hey and what's up till about 3 or 4 minutes from now, because I can see on my screen it looks like it's about 3 minutes behind me. So, anyways, that was kind of neat. As my screen just said, I'm at 33 minutes and 33 seconds. Kind of crazy, huh? Breathing in that good-ass prana, baby. With the power of 3. So, back to this video. Back to life. Back to reality. C. Let me get back to my screen so I make sure I'm on the screen properly. Okay. Yes, right here. So A, B, D, E, how does this work out? Let's write C and A. So A, that would be the 1. There's B is the 2. And guess what? 1, 2, 4, 5. Well, you're right about that. D is the 4 in A, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And E is the 5th. So it stands to reason that, I think I lost my good pencil there. It stands to reason that from C, A, B, we're going to have 6, 7, 2, 3. Check it out. A is the 6. B is the 7 of the C scale. That's the 2, and that's the 3. And look at the symmetry there. Isn't that kind of neat? And I mean, C to E flat shares 4 notes. C to A shares 4 notes. So I wanted to see, like, well, what are the intervals that they share? Is there any similarity there? Do they share the same notes? They don't share the same notes, but they share the same interval structure. But here it's different. Notice that this time, like, you start from the C, you use the 1, 2, 4, 5, and you get a 6, 7, 2, 3 if you move forward. If you go backwards, you take C's 6, 7, 2, 3, and they become a 1, 2, 4, 5. I thought that was pretty neat. So, yeah. Or you can think we went way ahead. So what is that way up the scale? Let's see. Let's write that out here. Let's get that all figured out here. So for you new people, you should always know that, you have this is your root. So this is your flat 2, your flat 3, your 3, your 4, your flat 5, regular 5, sharp 5, trifecta of 5s, right? Then your 6, and your flat 7, and your 7. So if we go up a flat third or a 6th, which backwards is the same exact notes distance from C. Even though it looks like it's way up here, if you consider moving backwards, it's the same distance away. So like if we presented this on a circle, it would be like the same distance away. So, maybe not across from each other on the circle, but I don't know, something like that. There's some symmetry there. So yeah, I really thought this was kind of cool. It's the 1, 2, and it's the same thing again. Here we have a major that's a minor that switches to a major, a diminished chord that would switch to a minor chord, a minor chord that switches to a major chord, and a minor 3 chords minor, which switches to the 5 chord, which is a dominant 7th chord. Or just if you consider only triads, just another major. So actually, let's do that to not confuse anybody. 7th chord, jazz, becomes a little bit more, you get more detail out of your music. And that's where that dominant chord comes in. But just considering triads, major, minor, major. So you can see in most all cases, if you have a minor, it's going to become a major. A major is going to become a minor. But if you have a minor chord, it's going to switch to a diminished. I guess, well, here's a minor chord and it goes to major. But, well, you can consider if you find a diminished chord, it's going to switch to a minor chord. A minor 2. So, yeah, lots of neat implications there. So, and what is the 2? It's B and D, and here it's D and F. So D is the kind of the operator here. It's the 2 that ends up being shared by both key changes, modulations. A modulation from C to E flat, well, it's going to share 4 notes, but the modulation in both directions is only going to share 1 note, and that is the D, the 2. So I thought that was kind of neat. Or it's going to share the 4 of the other scale, and it's going to share the 2 or the 7 of the other scale. Not a lot of correlation there. If we write this out on a circle, I thought about that the other day, but it's not coming to me now. But that's pretty much what it was. I found it fascinating that they both actually carried the same interval structure of not only the same intervals, but they correlate to the other intervals in the same way. Here, a 1 becomes a 6, a 2 becomes a 7, a 4 becomes a 2, and a 5 becomes a 3. And then here, from C to A, the 6 becomes the 1, much like the 1 became the 6. the 2 becomes the 7, just like um, or the 7 becomes a 2, just like from C the 2 became a 7, and everything else is exactly the same. 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2. So there's musical implications in this. That is the key here. There's musical implications. What those implications are, what I could tell you about creating a song with that, a little far beyond my grasp right now. Basically, something I got to toy with, something you could toy with, and see how you can spice up a song that's just hanging out in one key and do some of those borrowed chord things. And this kind of shows you where, when composers write those songs that borrow chords, and you're thinking, man, how did they know that? Like, where did that come from? Why does it fit in there? I thought, music theory was rules that you exactly had to follow to make musical sense. Why does this, broken rule work? Well, this is kind of where that stuff is coming from. These correlations are what brings that stuff to fruition. I think for a second there I was talking without my information on the screen, which is somewhat of a habit of mine on this channel. I should have spread that out left to right, so now I've got a screen that maybe I can make this a little smaller here. Just check that out. So yeah, I guess I'm going to leave the video at that because, well, we're probably into this by 40 minutes, and at that point, nobody ever watches your video because they're like, live for 40 minutes? What the hell are we rambling on about now? And if it was like 5 minutes, then everybody watches it because, like, hey, it's just 5 minutes and I got to get to work and I need a video before I get to work, because that's what I always do. And so aside from me rambling on too much and talking real fast, I'm going to let it go right now. I'm going to tell you all who stopped by to visit, especially you. Oh my God, for real? How did I lose a battery that fast? I got a mouse that just went dead, and now I can't shut my video off. Unbelievable. So I guess we're going to stay live now for a few more minutes because my mouse just went dead. Isn't that crazy? Oh, Lord. Come on. Let's go here. Let's pull the battery out. No, yeah, how about this? Harbor Freight free batteries. You know why they're free? I just put this one in yesterday. I think I got the dud out of that big 12-pack that you get. Well, the battery's totally dead after one day. That's kind of weird. Fresh out of the pack. Or this mouse just crapped the bed, and then we're really in a hole here. But gonna get up, gonna get a battery. Be right back. We're getting a battery. You're very interested in the music theory of getting a battery. I know you are. Breathing in that good-ass battery, baby. What are we doing? All right. We got a battery in there. Oh, man, this isn't good. I think... All right. We powered up. It makes me wonder if that... We just lost just the contacts are spreading out. Like, oh, yeah, look at that. I think that is what's happening. So that other battery probably was good. And now we put it in a pile of bad batteries. We'll never know. My loss. I've lost the battery, Ralph Smart. Help me. It's too much stress. You know what I found? I'll tell you, since we're stuck here live. Oh, my mouse is working again. Yeah. Oh, I was stressed out, and he had a great video exactly about kind of like the stress I was feeling. And like, oh, it was the one about how to like break curses on you if you feel like that. And so while following his advice, something came to me, which was the fact that we can go around and feel like we're like on his video, you're feeling like man, all this bad stuff happens to me. How come? How come? And he told you ways to deal with it effectively. It made total sense. So watch that video. Something about what to do if you're cursed, 7 things you can do if you have a curse or spell on you, or something like that. I wish I could remember the name. I really don't feel I'm doing him the justice by not knowing the name of that video. However, what I found while I was thinking about that, I had to make a run for the store, feeling kind of like, yeah, man, all these things come out at me. But I was thinking, man, I should, maybe I'd love to talk to him and tell him I feel like there's like an overwhelming number of weird negative things. Like I come home some days and I'm so mad at everything because like everything is pissing me off. Like every driver, well, of course that's natural, it's traffic, right? But my boss and things that you read on Facebook, everything seems toxic. And what the answer that came to me when I was thinking about what he was saying and what to do was that he told you how to break the spell by not dwelling on it, because if you get into that feeling of being cursed, you're creating that belief that you are cursed and it manifests itself, and that's probably what I was doing to increase all that happening. But another thing I also thought, or an answer that came to me, was that if you're a person that's going to watch Ralph Smart's videos and learn the exact ways to be positive, think positive, and turn those, he said when you do that, it's sort of like doesn't allow that energy to come your way, and that energy is going to go back to the receiver or the transmitter that's trying to transmit that energy and like pass negative energy onto you. You can create like when you allow them to pass through you, they actually might dissipate, pass through you, but also are going to come back to the original giver and turn it into a lesson for them. And especially if you turn it into a lesson for yourself. And so I thought, well, yeah, but I'm getting this overabundance. What's that all about? And then the answer there, which I'm trying to get to this point, was that if you're going to be a person that it's very few people are going to, even though like Ralph has, I'm sure, millions of followers and there's millions of people, it's not everybody. So there's only a small portion of the entire population that are going to actually learn how to diffuse narcissistic people and people with toxic energy and people who just want to make you feel rotten for things that are, whatever, kind of like a boss, I know. But anyways, while they think like they're teaching you something by doing that, you're going to be turning that, you're getting all that because the universe uses you. Then it understands that you're a conduit to turn lessons around. You understand how to do that, so it's gonna maybe bring more of those people your way, so that you feel like you're getting more of this negative energy, but you're becoming someone who can turn it around. And so it may choose you just simply because it's trying to clean house. Also, as you become better at doing that, it may choose you less because it understands that you understand now and you've learned your lesson about dealing with toxic people. Maybe that was the entire lesson. You really didn't know something about dealing with toxic people. And if you learn, it's, you're basically learning a new and great behavior, and that may lessen the amount of toxicity, but it may still maintain a level, because like he said, it's life, and you have to accept that in life shit does happen. So anyways, I was just thinking to myself, dude, you are way off topic here. You're making your video go 8 miles too long, and you are way off whatever music theory you were talking about. Suddenly you're on Ralph Smart video. So I apologize for getting way off topic here, and I'll leave everyone be here. For appreciate everyone who watched and could follow along with what I was just rambling on about. If it made any sense to you, awesome. Um, I'm in the mood to ramble because that's what I did all day in my 5-hour class, talking about driving to people. And yeah, I tend to talk a lot. I can talk and talk and talk. So, um, oh yeah, so Eric is caught up. He's heard what I said because he's mentioned that he just got to the 3-3-3-3 point. Ha ha ha. So yeah, Eric, that's cool that you like the numerological significance that we find in music and in life. I think that's totally cool. So yeah, Eric, I'm gonna get going here, and I thank you big time for watching and leaving all those comments. That's totally awesome. Um, and yeah, if you start a YouTube channel, stay in touch with me and let me know because I want to watch it. Sounds like it's gonna be great. And yeah, let's do an interview sometime. We'll be like Aaron, Ron, someone else, but then never mind all them people. You don't want to know about them. Okay, I'm going to talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. It's been real. It's been totally excellent. Maybe I'll go live again in a few minutes. I don't know, but I'm going to try to actually. Oh, one last thing. This is the long Labor Day weekend, and especially if Monday is going to rain like they say it is, I'm going to try to do like not only live videos, but I want to be online. I'm going to try to like pump my membership by doing like some kind of 24-hour thing, or maybe not a full 24-hour video, but keep on going live like all day in like 15-minute chunks and make a ton of 15-minute videos. I think that would be really awesome and could inspire people to like kickstart my channel, because I'm kind of like petered out at 700 subscribers. It like totally fell flat right there. I'm at 700, and then it's been like 699, 702, 699, and yeah, so weird. I didn't expect to get 700, so I think that's really cool. And but we'll see if we can get some more. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Peace. Right. Diving deep. Once again, breathing in that good ass prana with the cat down the road. Have a great day. Oh, I always hit exit, and I say this at the end of every video. Oops, we didn't hit exit. We're hitting stop stream now and saying goodbye. Have a great day, everybody. Love you guys.